A new study by the Urban Institute finds that more than 35% of Americans with credit records have debts that have been reported to collection agencies. This is even though credit card debt as a percentage of income is at its lowest level in more than a decade. The study found such things as unpaid hospital bills, student debt, even gym memberships are piling up. The delinquent debt is overwhelmingly concentrated in southern and western states. Nevada and Texas have unusually high percentage of households with debts subject to collection actions. So what do you need to know if you're one of those Americans facing debt collection? Tim Maurer joins us now to help put it all into context. He's Director of Personal Finance with BAM Alliance. Tim, always great to see you. Thank you for rejoining us. I thought our debt problems were getting resolved, that total debt was coming down and that these problems had gone away. But it seems like the number of households with debt in collections is stubbornly high, hasn't budged much at all.
Tyler, I think that it may be a result of the crisis that we had in the past with mortgage debt. That was so much bigger and so much more of an issue. That's where all of our focus went at the time. But think about this, and especially when you look at the different geographic areas that are suffering so much, it's some of the areas that were hit the hardest economically in the midst of the downturn of the Great Recession, the credit crunch. And so those folks understandably may have had to defer some bills for money they owed. They may be in denial, but I think it can make some sense as to why we're seeing this today, even though we see overall debt coming down.
Is it, I am sure that most of the people who are subject to collections know that there is a collection action out there outstanding. But my guess also is that there are a fair number of us who have collection actions that we don't even know about because we haven't checked our credit records in a long time, or we've moved and the bill keeps going to the old address, hasn't been forwarded.
Certainly possible, and I do think that there's even some fraudulent activity there. One of the foremost reasons to make sure you're checking your credit report at least annually. But I would say that medical bills is the big one here. Tyler, believe it or not, most foreclosures happen as a result of, in many cases, medical bills. It's one of the top reasons for foreclosures, even in the recent downturn. They tend to be big numbers, and they do tend to be harder to understand exactly how much you owe. You know that the insurance company paid some, and then you have a bill for some. They're coming from doctors, hospitals. I do think that medical bills especially can be particularly perplexing.
How much do these credit actions or collection actions hurt your credit rating? And does a $50 bill hurt you as much as a $500 bill?
Well, look, smaller bills are definitely not going to hurt you as bad as bigger bills, but simply having someone go to collection is certainly one ding against you, and that certainly will have a negative impact. Here again, with your credit card company, they're not likely to send to collections for 6 months, but your doc, the hospital, will automatically outsource the collections to another external company, and as a result, they tend to get to your credit report even faster, Tyler.
That's an interesting point, Tim. It's not necessarily your credit card that's causing the problem here. So is the best thing I can do get a credit report from one of the 3 major agencies or all 3? What do you do? Give me some advice.
Well, I've got to be honest, I check it, I'm a financial planner, so I do it as inexpensively as I can. And there are 3 great free resources that I have used in the past, that I currently use, or that I've recommended and people have gotten good news from. So annualcreditreport.com is one where you can get each of the 3 major credit bureaus to send you the credit report itself. You do have to pay money if you want to get your credit score, but if you go to creditkarma.com or Credit Sesame, there you can get an idea of what your report looks like and also an estimate that tends to be very close to what your credit score is. And as you know, that credit score definitely drives a lot of the purchasing we do with leverage.
Tim, next time you come up here and teach me how to tie a bow tie, okay?
My pleasure.
All right, Tim, thank you very much.